There's a luxury real estate developer out in Bel Air, California that spent the past 6 years building a 35,000 square foot mega mansion, and California's Supreme Court has ordered that the house needs to be demolished. If you know about this story, then you know that we're talking about Mohamed Hadid, the real estate tycoon and father of supermodels Gigi and Bella Hadid. He has supposedly spent almost $50 million on the build of this house so far, but all of that money can be considered just flushed down the drain because allegedly he cut so many corners during the build of this house that it is just simply not safe to leave it standing. In today's video, we're going to talk about who Mohamed Hadid is, how he got himself into this mess, and then what the future looks like for this trophy lot in Bel Air. If you're new to my channel, my name is Scott. I'm a real estate investor myself out of Arizona, so naturally I've been really fascinated by this story as it has unfolded. Before we get into the video, let's just get into two quick things. First, if you wouldn't mind if at any point during this video you're enjoying the video, if you could just hit the thumbs up button down below for me. And also, don't forget to click subscribe down below as well before you go, because I'm posting new videos every week and they're all real estate themed like this one. So you know the drill. Before we get into all this crazy drama surrounding the house that's up for demolition, first we have to talk about who is Mohamed Hadid. Mohamed was born November 6, 1948, which makes him 72 years old today. One of his first business ventures was flipping classic cars in Washington, D.C., and then he moved to Greece to open a nightclub. But it wasn't long before he moved back to the United States and started developing luxury real estate, and this was around the late 1970s. He is well known for his work on luxury hotels, including hundreds of millions of dollars of work through the 1980s, developing Ritz Carltons from Washington to New York, and then from Houston to Scottsdale. Hadid is also famously known for outgunning Donald Trump when he borrowed $40 million from the SAR Foundation to buy a luxury hillside property in Aspen. This is a property that Trump was eyeing for a while that he planned on buying and developing into a luxury ski resort. But Hadid beat Trump to the deal. Trump sued Hadid and lost, and then Hadid went on to build the luxurious Ritz Carlton at the base of the Aspen Highlands. And to pour salt in the wound, not only did Hadid win the seller over of that Aspen property, but he actually went on to date one of Trump's ex-wives, Marla Maples. Anyways, that success that Hadid had in Aspen was great for his brand, and he parlayed that success into the Bel Air and Beverly Hills luxury market in the 1990s. He had some really big successes in California, developing a mansion that he called the La Belvedere in Bel Air that he sold for $50 million in 2010, and he also developed another mega mansion that he called the Croissant Place in Beverly Hills, which he built and sold for $58 million in 2013. Hadid lives a lavish lifestyle, of course, with a net worth estimated to be between $100 and $200 million. He's been a bit of a public figure as well due to his two daughters, Gigi and Bella Hadid, both being crazy famous supermodels who have massive followings online. And when I say massive, I mean massive. Gigi has almost 70 million followers on Instagram, and Bella isn't far behind with 50 million followers. Let's shift gears and talk about 901 Strada Vecchia Rd, the property that Hadid has spent all of these years working on but is now facing orders to demolish and sell. According to public records, this property last sold in June of 2012 for just over $800,000. Hadid started the process of building a luxury mega mansion on the lot right away, and he rumored that he'd be listing it for sale for $100 million whenever he was done with it. The summary of the troubled story looks like this. Hadid originally submitted plans and received permits to build a 15,000 square foot house on this lot. Right out of the gates though, it seemed like he went a little bit rogue because he went on to build a house that was almost 30,000 square feet, which was twice the size of what he was approved to build. That means that all of this additional square footage was never approved to be built to begin with. The city of Los Angeles caught on to this in December of 2015, and they told him to cease construction. By the middle of 2017, the city of LA actually decided to criminally prosecute Hadid, which is pretty crazy and unusual. But as crazy as that was, the city eventually won, and they ordered that Hadid needs to reduce the home size to what it was originally approved for within 3 years, or he would be sent to jail. Needless to say, Hadid never tore the house down or reduced its size, and it's still hanging on to the side of this mountain mountain by a thread. So even though the city is rightfully upset with Hadid for basically going behind their backs and building a house that they never approved him to build, the neighbors are even more pissed. See, not only did the neighbors have to deal with all of this construction, noise, and traffic over all of these years, but they're also worried that in the event of a major rainfall or earthquake, that the house will literally fall down the mountain on top of them. There's this one neighbor specifically that got super aggressive with this case, and his name is Joe Haresic, and he conducted a study that proved that the pylons and retaining walls that hold the house up were not up to city code, meaning that they were not deep enough or thick enough to hold the house up. Could you imagine if you lived down the mountain from this massive concrete structure that you know for sure was not built safely, and that it could come tumbling down the mountain on top of you at any given time? Frightening to say the least. So while I'm all for all these luxury mansions being built all over Bel Air and Beverly Hills, I totally understand why the neighbors don't like this one and want it demolished ASAP. So about a year ago, the California courts went back onto the case, and they did declare the home a clear and present danger to the public, so they ordered that the home be quickly and safely demolished. But within a week of that court order, Hadid had filed for bankruptcy, saying that he didn't have the $5 million that it was going to take to demolish this structure. The property did end up getting listed for sale for $8.5 million in January of 2021, and the listing stated that it was a teardown and that the buyer wouldn't incur any expenses associated with the teardown. Within a month of listing it for sale, they actually already found a buyer and entered their inspection period, but during the inspection, that buyer discovered that there would be several $million more worth of lot prep, so he backed out of the deal. August 6, 2021, 901 Strada Vecchia Rd was officially taken off the market, but I'd imagine that if you were an interested buyer, you could probably reach out to Hilton and Highland, who had the listing, and you might be able to still work out a deal. All in, it's looking like Hadid will be in the hole about $50 million or so by the time he's done with this place. You gotta figure that the money he spent originally on the lot, then all of the property taxes along the way, plus all of the construction costs that he did spend to get the home along this far, adds up to a ton of money. I don't know Hadid personally, so I can't pass any judgment here, but it's kind of hard not to feel bad for the guy to have found himself in such a dark place in a loaded legal battle. Maybe he was malicious and going around the city's back and building an illegal structure. Or maybe he was just naive and innocent and he didn't understand all of the codes and legal requirements, because he did testify that he thought that all of the needed approvals were received to build this place. No matter what way you look at it though, it's a bummer of a situation for Hadid, his family, and all of the neighbors that are surrounding this house. Time will tell the future of this lot, and you know I'll be talking more about it here on my channel when there's further developments. If you enjoyed the video, just one more reminder to hit the like button down below for me before you go, and if you made it this far, don't forget to click subscribe as well before you go, because there's plenty more videos just like this one coming to my channel. But that's all I've got for you guys this time, so until next time, see ya!